Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's been a hot minute since I've uploaded. We'll see if I upload again soon. Yeah, we'll see. This game is called Nimby Rails, N-I-M-B-Y, Nimby Rails, and it's the way I would describe it is impenetrable. I think it's got a lot of overlap with people who like the Marble World content or like playing Marble World, but you know, it's got its own little quirks. Basically, it's a train simulation game where you get to control your own train company and lay tracks wherever you want and have trains run on them, and they pick up passengers. Realistically, you can see like the pink is population maps, so I can like turn that off and just have it be people. Yeah, you just have the city here and all the little trams running through it. This is my home valley. Down there is where I had my first job. Over here is where I went to high school. I'm not saying where I lived. I've made that mistake before. Anyway, so this is just a tiny slice of where you can build. You can build anywhere in the whole entire world in this game. And I'm choosing to start in my hometown because that's the area I know best, and I think it's kind of fun. I always wish there was better, trains and trams and just like public transit in general in that area, and so I think that would just be pretty rad, and I get to live out that fantasy. So currently my plan is, obviously, this is my little tram line. It's making me a bit of money. It's like transporting people. I had like $3 billion to start with, and I spent some of it to build this. I still have a lot left, but I'm gradually making money. But the real big bucks in this game, that's really what I'm aiming for. And the only way to get that is by transporting people a further distance, because the amount people are willing to pay for a ticket to ride on your train is based on the total distance they're going. And so let's just take a look at the area. Ignore Walsburg. That, if I turn back on population, that is a tiny town that doesn't have anyone living there. Same deal with the Timber Lakes and maybe Camas and Francis. You could go build up to there. But really, like, Midway, Heber, those are like the real towns in this area. No, where I want to build up to is Park City. Park City's cool. It's a ski town. Love hanging out there. It's fancy. And so yeah, that's my current plan, is to go up and build a tram network like this one up in Park City. And then I can connect the two with a real train line kind of following up Highway 40. So let's cut the time lapse for me to do that. Alright, so my general method with building trams, I've only done it twice, this and with the original Midway Heber line. The way I do it is I start by building the stations, as you can see here. Now with stations, trams are more or less all about catching an entire area in your network in general, so you can filter it onto longer lines. So what I do is you got to start with the stations in the general regions, and each station is going to have a circle around it. That circle indicates the catchment of that station, so everywhere that people are willing to go to that station from where they are. So you can have people, all those people in those pink areas that are within those circles. That means the station is basically covering their needs. So you want to make sure you get all of that. I like to try to make sure that my stations are in like real destinations instead of just, random spots. That doesn't always work out. But here I've got one at each of the two major ski resorts, Park City and Deer Valley, one at the high school and middle school and elementary school that are there, and finally one more at the north end of the city. Then after that, I set up the line, add some trains to it. And it's generally pretty good at doing it automatically. I don't know. I'm not going to tutorial that. You can try to figure it out on your own. I think that's the best way to learn. Alright, you guys, that is it. That is my Park City tram system complete. Let's turn up the time a little bit, just a little bit. It was actually really quite easy to set it up this time, seeing as I knew what I was doing. I was just building the Midway Heber Valley line as a way to learn the game. Did a couple weird things about it, but I had to. I'm trying to keep my tracks following the roads the way they would be in real life for tram lines. Anyway, yeah, so that's Park City. I did decide to use, let's turn time down just a little bit. I did decide to use these city trams instead of the koalas that I'd been using down in the Heber Valley line. That's because they're higher capacity, and Park City is just a higher population area. This game, the population statistics are not super great. Like, I don't think it was showing enough people living in Park City. But I mean, I would guess a lot of that is because a lot of the people in Park City are going to be visitors. They're going to be there for ski trips. It as much as a ski town. It's got 2 resorts there. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Anyway, the next step for me is to basically bridge the gap between these two. I'm going to set up a regional, I guess, yeah, intercity train line connecting these 2 tram systems. Because the thing with trams, like I said before, that the amount of money you make is calculated based on distance. The trams, your distance is like nothing. So the way to really make money is by connecting different cities. And if that's the case, why would you build trams? I can hear you already asking. Well, the reason is because you want to be able to pick people up in a larger area. If I just built a train station here, that's where I'm planning on building it, then it would catch like the people in that area, and I wouldn't get the rest of the population of Park City. It's much worse here, where like when I build my train station there, it wouldn't catch the population of this area. And so the trams mean that you can pick someone up in Heber, and then they can ride the tram, get over to the train station up there, and then transfer over to the train and ride up there. So basically, it just increases the catchment of my system. So I guess on to the train building.
Okay, so with the tram system, I didn't really care so much about the shape of my rails. I just put my stations down and connected them as best I could while following the roads, because I didn't really want to make my lines look all weird. Not quite so for the actual train lines. With this, there's a few extra considerations. Number one, it is going to be the shape of the rails, because I do want these connections to go as fast as I can, and that's why I'm trying to avoid sharp corners. And additionally, I have to pay extra if I ever cross a road, so I'm trying to avoid crossing those roads because it gets very expensive. And so that's why I'm building the way I am. I tried to go around that thing, but the corner was too sharp, so I just crossed it and paid the extra amount.
And there you have it. Now I've got that regional rail all set up. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Love that. And let's just check a little bit on how much cash we're making. Let's go back to Friday. On Friday, the regional line made me $38,000, and my whole system made $66,000. So like I did make money on the trams, 20 grand here, 7 grand here. It was interesting. I guess it must be because there's fewer stops. And $38,000 here at this regional line, and it was not even that much longer than my tram systems. So yeah, these things are pretty profitable. It's not actually like insane. It makes sense, you're going like a further distance, but still. And then as I build up to more places and expand that regional network, well, you can see how it scales up. I can start building down to Orem, up to probably just up to Salt Lake City, and then move up and down the Wasatch Front, which has tons and tons of people, so that's lots of money to be made. Eventually go down to St. George, Las Vegas, maybe Los Angeles eventually. We'll see how that goes. I think I'm just going to cut the video short here today, and then in future videos I'll have a wider scope. This is more or less what I wanted to do in today's video, so thanks for watching. Bye.